stop for a moment. Before you go to sleep tonight, there's something I need you to understand. Because what you're about to do in bed might feel completely normal, completely harmless, but it could be quietly putting your heart under stress every single night. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because I've seen it. I've sat across from people in their 60s and 70s, people who were doing everything right. They took their medication, they tried to eat well, they stayed active when they could, and still, they ended up with a stroke, or a blood clot, or a heart problem that seemed to come out of nowhere. And when I asked one simple question, "How do you sleep at night?" most of them gave me the same answer. "I just sleep the way I always have. On their back, on their stomach, or whatever feels comfortable." And no one had ever told them that after 60, that choice starts to matter, not just for comfort, but for how your body functions, for 6 to 8 hours straight, every single night. Because here's the truth. After 60, your body is different. Your blood vessels are not as flexible. Your circulation is not as fast. Your heart is working harder than it used to. Even if you feel fine, even if nothing seems wrong, these changes are happening quietly. And when you lie down at night, your body shifts into a completely different state. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, your system moves into recovery mode. This is when your body is supposed to rest, repair, reset. But here's what most people don't realize. That process depends on balance, and small things, like the position you sleep in, can influence that balance more than you think. Let me explain something simple. Your body is not inactive when you sleep. In fact, some of its most important work happens then. Your brain begins clearing waste. Your blood vessels relax. Your heart gets its only real break of the day. But after 60, this system becomes more sensitive, more fragile, less forgiving, which means what used to work for your body at 30 does not always work the same way now. And this is where most people make a mistake. They assume that sleep position is just about comfort, what feels good, what feels familiar. But comfort is not always the same as support. And over time, that difference matters. Because when your body is in the wrong position for hours at a time, night after night, small inefficiencies begin to build. Circulation becomes less optimal. Pressure is distributed unevenly. Your heart works slightly harder than it needs to. Not enough to notice immediately, but enough to matter over years. Now let me tell you something that surprised even many doctors. Your brain has a built-in cleaning system. It's called the glymphatic system, and it works mostly while you sleep. Think of it like a cleanup crew that comes in at night. It clears toxins, removes waste, flushes out harmful buildup, including proteins linked to memory problems and cognitive decline. But here's the important part. This system does not work equally well in every sleep position. Research has shown that sleeping on your side helps this system function more efficiently. Better clearance means less buildup over time, and that matters. Not just for your brain, but for your overall health. Because when waste builds up, inflammation increases, and inflammation affects everything. Your blood vessels, your circulation, your heart. Now I want you to think about something. If your body is spending 1/3 of your life sleeping, and during that time, your position is influencing how well your system works, then that position is not a small detail. It's a habit, a repeated condition that your body experiences every single night. And habits like that shape your health over time. So here's the question. If something this simple could support your heart, your brain, your circulation, would you want to know how to do it properly? Because the truth is, you don't need anything complicated. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need to change your entire lifestyle. You just need to understand how your body works now and give it the support it needs. In the next part, I'm going to show you exactly which sleep position supports your body best and why it works based on real physiology, not guesswork. Now let's talk about the position itself, because once you understand this, it will make complete sense why it matters so much after 60. The position I want you to focus on is side sleeping, and more specifically, your left side. Now, this is not random advice. This is based on how your body is built. Your heart is not centered perfectly in the middle of your chest. It sits slightly to the left, and your major blood vessels follow that same orientation. The aorta, the main artery that carries blood away from your heart, curves toward the left, and the large veins that return blood from your lower body connect in a way that is affected by gravity. Now here's where things get important. When you lie on your left side, gravity begins to work with your body instead of against it. Blood flows back to your heart more easily. Your heart doesn't have to push as hard to maintain circulation. And for someone over 60, that small difference matters because your cardiovascular system is no longer as flexible as it once was. Your arteries are slightly stiffer. Your circulation is slightly slower, and your heart is doing more work than it used to, even if you don't feel it. So when you reduce that workload, even a little, every night, you are giving your heart a break it genuinely needs. Not for minutes, but for hours, and that adds up over time. Blood flow and clot risk. Now let's talk about something more serious. Blood clots, because this is one of the biggest risks that increases after 60. Your blood naturally flows a bit slower. Your veins may not push blood as efficiently as before. And if you spend long periods sitting or lying in positions that restrict flow, blood can begin to pool. And when blood pools, it becomes more likely to clot. This is how deep vein thrombosis begins. And in some cases, that clot can travel to your lungs, to your brain, and that's when it becomes dangerous. Now here's the key. Position affects circulation. When you sleep flat on your back, especially without any support, certain veins can become compressed. Blood flow becomes less efficient, and over hours, that matters. But when you sleep on your side with your body aligned, blood flows more naturally. It moves, and moving blood is much less likely to clot. This is not complicated. It's basic physiology. Flow protects. Stillness creates risk. Let me tell you about someone I worked with. He was in his early 70s, very disciplined. He walked every morning. He took his medication. He did everything he was told. But he had one complaint. His legs felt heavy when he woke up, sometimes slightly swollen. He thought it was normal, just part of aging. But when we looked deeper, there was something else. He slept flat on his back every night, for years. We made one simple change. We transitioned him to side sleeping. We added a pillow between his knees. Nothing else changed. Within a few weeks, he noticed something different. The heaviness was reduced. The swelling improved, and his mornings felt easier. It wasn't dramatic, but it was real, because his circulation at night had improved, and his body responded. Now here's what most people don't realize. Even if you understand all of this, even if you want to change, your body may not cooperate. You might fall asleep on your side and wake up on your back. It happens to almost everyone, because once you're asleep, you lose control. So the real question becomes, how do you make your body stay in the right position without forcing it? Because this is where most people fail. They try for one night, it feels uncomfortable, and they go back to old habits. But there's a way to make it easier, a way to guide your body naturally, without effort. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Now let's talk about something many people don't expect, Because even if you never change your diet, even if you don't exercise perfectly, your sleep position alone can still influence your health. And one position in particular becomes more risky after 60, sleeping on your back. Now, I understand why people do it. It feels natural, it feels stable, and for years, it may not have caused any problems. But as your body changes, the effects change too. When you lie on your back, gravity pulls everything backward: your tongue, your soft tissues, your airway. And for many people, this partially blocks breathing. Not completely, but enough to matter. This is called sleep apnea. And here's the important part. Most people who have it don't know they have it, because it happens while you sleep. You don't feel it, you don't remember it, but your body reacts. Every time your breathing slows or stops, even briefly, your oxygen levels drop. Your heart responds immediately. It beats faster, blood pressure spikes, stress hormones are released. This can happen dozens of times per night, sometimes even hundreds. And over time, this creates constant stress on your cardiovascular system. This is not a small effect. Sleep apnea is strongly linked to high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, stroke, heart attack. Now here's the key. Sleeping on your side helps keep your airway open. It reduces the collapse, and for many people, it makes a real difference. I worked with someone in her late 60s. She told me she was always tired, every morning, no matter how long she slept. She had headaches. Her blood pressure was rising. She thought it was just aging, but there was one detail. She slept on her back, every night. We didn't change her medication. We didn't add anything complicated. We just helped her transition to side sleeping, using a body pillow. Within weeks, her snoring improved. Within months, her mornings felt clearer. And over time, her energy came back. Not from a pill, from a position. Now there's one position I want you to be careful with: sleeping on your stomach. Because after 60, this position puts unnecessary strain on your body. Your chest is compressed. Your breathing becomes restricted. Your neck is forced to twist for hours at a time, and your circulation can be affected. This doesn't cause damage overnight, but night after night, it adds stress, and that stress is avoidable. Now at this point, you might be thinking something. I understand this, but I can't control how I sleep. And you're right. Once you're asleep, your body moves naturally. You can't force it. So the goal is not control. The goal is guidance. You want to make the right position feel natural, and the wrong positions feel less comfortable. Here's how you do that. First, use a pillow between your knees. This keeps your hips aligned. It reduces pressure on your lower back, and it makes side sleeping much more comfortable. Second, use a body pillow. Place it in front of you. This gives your top arm and leg something to rest on, and it prevents you from rolling forward or backward. Third, if you tend to roll onto your back, place something behind you. Even a firm pillow works. It gently blocks that movement without waking you up. And finally, check your head pillow. If it's too flat, your neck drops. If it's too high, your neck bends. You want a neutral position, head aligned with your spine. Simple. I want to leave you with something important. Your body is not working against you. It's doing everything it can to keep you going. Every night, every heartbeat, it's adapting. But after 60, it needs a little more support. And sometimes, that support is not complicated. It's not expensive. It's not extreme. It's something as simple as how you lie down at night. Because the habits you repeat daily quietly shape your future. And sleep is one of the most repeated habits you have. Tonight, try it. Even if it's just for part of the night. Left side, support your body, and see how you feel in the morning. If this helped you, subscribe. because I share simple, practical health insights for people over 60 in a way that actually makes sense. And if you know someone who still sleeps the same way they did 30 years ago, share this with them. Because sometimes, the smallest change is the one that protects you the most.